Abbe says originally a priest wrote an influential pamphlet called "What is the Third Estate?" So even in order to uh, aware the masses in the French, the Abbe says that was a priest who wrote a very influential pamphlet called as "What is the Third Estate?" While the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a constitution, the rest of the France seated with turmoil. So at one side, the National Assembly which they have established, they were very busy at the Versailles in order to draft a new constitution for France, but the rest of the France, they were in a very devastated situation. A severe winter had meant a bad harvest. The price of the bread rose. Often bakers exploited the situation and hoarded supplies. So these are the incidents which actually destroyed the whole society of the France, especially to the third estate. There was a severe winter had, and due to which there was a very bad harvest in the France. The price of the bread increases, and even the bakers exploited the situation. They demanded more price for just a small piece of bread, and there was a very shortage of supplies. So these are the incident which leads to the devastation in the French. After spending hours in a long queue at the bakery, crowds of angry women stormed into the shop. At the same time, the king ordered troops to move into Paris. On 14th July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille. So, after even the women, they have to stand long hours in a queue at the bakery, and their main objective was to earn, or you can say they can buy a small piece of bread. So crowds of angry women stormed into the shop. So as the women, they were very angry because there was a very crowd, and finally they stormed into the shop, and they destroyed the shop. At the same time, the king ordered the soldiers to move into the Paris. So at the same time, the Louis XVI ordered his soldiers to move into the Paris. On 14th July, the crowds were very angry, and they come together, and they destroyed the whole Bastille. In the countryside, rumors spread from village to village that the lords of the manor had hired bands of brigands who were on their way to destroy the ripe crops. So in the countryside, there was a rumors which was spreading from one village to other that the lord of the manors had hired a huge amount of brigands who will destroy the ripe crops. Caught in a frenzy of fear, peasants in several districts seize, use and pitchforks and attract tutux. So even the farmers, they were very fear because their crop will be destroyed. So they seized the use, and they finally made you can say chatux. The meaning of chatux, they have made some hues and pitchfork, and they attack the chatux. The meaning of chatux is that it is a chatu castle or a Stanley residence belonging to a king or a nobleman, and manor is an estate consisting of the lord's land and his mansion. So there was a rumors that the manor will come and they will destroy their ripe crops, and in order to protect from the miners, they have made different types of weapons, or you can say instrument, through which they can protect, and finally they attack the castle of the king or the nobleman. Why? Because they were very angry against the Louis XVI policies. They looted, hoarded grains, and burned down the documents containing records of manorial dues. So even the third estate member, what they do, they they have taken all the grains from the castle, and they have burned down different types of documents containing the records of their dues. A large number of nobles fled from their home, many of them migrating to neighboring countries. So a large number of nobles, in order to save their life, they fled from their homes to the neighboring countries in order to survive from the revolt, from the protest which was done by the third estate members.